another episode of Candid Convos. I'm Alina from the marketing team of Get Steve. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Steve Fretzin. He coaches and trains lawyers the most modern-day business development skills, providing precise tips, fresh ideas, and actionable tasks that drive tangible results. He's also the host of Be That Lawyer podcast, to which Brett Tremblay, our Get Steve co-founder, had the honor of being invited to. So you should check out that episode. And now we have the honor of having Steve Fretzin here on our show, Candid Convos. Welcome, Steve.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining. And well, first, can you share with us a little bit of what you do?
Sure. Absolutely. So start off, I'll just mention I'm not an attorney. I got into my own coaching business in 2004, mainly focused on working with entrepreneurs. Never thought attorneys really needed any help with business development. And when the recession hit in 2008, that's when I started getting a lot of calls from attorneys looking to grow their books of business. And within a few years, it aligned so well with what I do and how I teach and how I coach. The model that I have is all about sales-free selling. So it's not about really teaching sales. It's about other soft skills. And it took off. And here we are, 13 years later, and it's all I do every day is work with attorneys to help them grow their law practices and have more peace of mind and more free time and make more money. So it's a win-win all the way around, and just have a blast doing it.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing. And how has it been like to be focused, like making the lawyers your niche?
Well, it's interesting. I was here teaching lawyers how to niche their business and why that's so important. And at the time I was doing that, I hadn't done it myself. So it was a big epiphany that, when I see that about 80% of my total business is law firms and lawyers, that I should probably be niching myself. So that's what I did really around 2010. And so it's really a great thing to do because where before I was sort of like everything to everybody, now I'm in a very specific space. I'm only working with individual lawyers, not law firms anymore. I've niched down again, only working with individual lawyers. They have to be highly motivated, ambitious, interested in growing their law practices. And I'm looking for lawyers that are maybe 5 years in, all the way to lawyers that have maybe been going for 30 years, but there's money on the table. There's time that can be invested wisely in business development. And those are really the attorneys that I partner with. And I put them through a model of a combination of coaching and training so that they get all the methodologies and steps and language together to really excel at business development and grow. And that's really what I do. But, focusing on a specific niche, lawyers need to do it. I need to do it. And, other people need to do it, get staffed up. You're doing it, focusing on how you guys are offering up a full service or full-time, a virtual assistant. So it's all an important thing for people to realize. You want to be known for something versus not being known for anything.
That's amazing. Yeah, totally. Like you said. And well, regarding this pandemic situation, because we know that it's something that affected almost every business, not only in the US, but all around the world. So can you please share with us, Steve, how did you manage this? Do you use remote work on your business right now?
Yeah, so everything is remote. I had a loop office. I'm in Chicago, and I shut it down in September when my lease expired. And I'm still going to stay as a virtual, member, so I can, if I need to use that space, I have it available. But Zoom has really opened up everything for me nationally. I'm getting a much greater exposure and able to, I don't have to travel, by plane. I mean, if I want to go see somebody, I just, dial them up and I'm on a Zoom call. So, but I think for people that fell into this, it obviously impacted people in a positive way and a negative way. And I think the people that found this to be a positive experience were people that leaned into marketing. They leaned into networking. They took advantage of Zoom as an efficiency tool versus looking at it as a negative. And that was, those are the people that are really being successful right now. And the people that are waiting for, to take their clients to ball games or concerts or play golf. I mean, that golf is fine too, but that's a more challenging thing. And we're coming out of the pandemic now, so it might be okay. But It really gave us an opportunity to look at our businesses under a microscope, figure out where we can cut costs and where we can expand marketing and brand awareness. And that's where I think some people have really found this to be a bit of a windfall, as opposed to, a financially tragic situation.
Totally. Like I agree with you, this pandemic situation, this COVID has opened like a broad range of opportunities for the remote world, and I think that, I don't know, some people are getting so used to this that maybe this is going to be the way of working for the next years, for the future, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to get back to doing some face to face. I think people are anxious for coffees. They're anxious for lunches. And now that, people are able to eat inside or outside if it's nice outside, um, it's going to definitely open it back up. But I think it's going to be a hybrid. I think it's going to be, I don't want to go back to teaching classes live because this is too good. This is too efficient. I use every part of Zoom to make it interactive. And I don't think I'm going to be going back to going into an office where I'm spending, half my day in traffic getting there and back. So I think we're going to take the things that we love about the efficiency and we're going to keep them. And then we're going to pull back into the mix the things that are fun, like going out to a lunch, having drinks. A Wrigley Field rooftop party, is definitely happening in the near future here in Chicago. So I think it's going to be a hybrid, but I'm definitely leaning into more virtual now, and I will continue that in the future as a majority of my business being done this way.
Do you think this situation might affect, like your clients, like the lawyers, and, like just how things work? Do you think this might affect them?
I think it's going to affect lawyers in a few different ways. Number one is going to be law firms that are looking to continue to have a strong culture and camaraderie and mentorship. That's been challenged, very challenged the last year and a half. And that might come back. But if people stay remote and they only have to come into the office a couple times a week, they're not going to get the same, experience that lawyers in the past have had. And I also think that, the cities like, for example, Chicago, where there's, 30 to 50,000 attorneys roaming around, it's just things are slower. And if there's less people in the city, there's less action. So I think there's going to be some negative things there, but the positives may outweigh it. Sitting around waiting for hours to get into a courtroom versus sitting at your desk and getting work done waiting for court. That's going to be an advantage. So we're going to be balancing this out for years to come and figuring it out as we go. But I definitely feel that the pros outweigh the cons as it relates to efficiency for attorneys. And that's really important because that's how they're based. They're based on their time. And if their time is used more efficiently, then it's obviously going to be beneficial.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like we've had some interviews with our Get Stop clients, like the lawyers, and yeah, they've told us that this kind of adaptations we've made with the work remote, like our firm basis on helping them delegate their way to freedom. That's like our phrase. And yeah, they've told us that they've started to like this remote work situation, and that's why they decided to have more people on their team that are virtual assistants, because they're interested, and like you said, reducing costs and also like making their time more efficient, and all the things that used to be face to face, like I don't know, originated commute and I don't know, other expenses. And maybe that's some things that lawyers are looking forward to to be like still using this remote work on the future.
Yeah. Again, I think it's going to be a mix, and things like conferences are going to start coming back, and but I don't think they're going to be as highly attended, than they were. If there was 1,000 people that showed up for the last one, they maybe get 200-300 people, and then the rest of it is going to have to be remote. They're going to have to keep that remote piece to it if they want to get the numbers. So it's definitely impacting the way that we do things. But again, in some ways, it's going to be beneficial for individual lawyers to be more efficient than they've ever been. Than just because it's been forced upon us and we have to adapt. So
Totally. Well, thank you, Steve. Before we leave, can you please share with us and with the viewers some of your contact information?
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing to do if you're interested in learning more about Fretzin and what I do for attorneys is to go to my website, which is fretzin.com. It's fretzin.com. And on there, you'll see my books, my blog, my videos, and most importantly, my podcast, where I did get to interview Brett Tremblay and a number of other rainmakers and experts in legal, marketing, operations, et cetera, efficiency. I've done, I think, 70 plus episodes. We're just coming up on 10,000 downloads. So check out Be That Lawyer on all major podcast platforms.
Thank you, Steve. We'll leave all these details on the box below, and we'll also leave the link for the episode where Steve interviewed Brett Tremblay. And well, thanks again, Steve, for joining, and thanks everyone for watching this episode. See you next time.